Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the Washington Commanders injury report from today, and for the most part, it was good news for them, especially rookie Brandon Coleman, who did practice today at a limited capacity. So we'll talk about that in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. We're really close to 13,800 subscribers, just like 20 away. So help me get there. It's free. Hit that like button, notification bell as well. And make sure you guys check out BetUS. So let's get into the injury update. So Brandon Coleman missed last week because of the concussion. And, some people were like, oh, they signed Bobby Hart yesterday to the practice squad. I made a video about that if you want to check it out. But some people were like, oh, because they signed Bobby Hart, does that mean that Lucas and Coleman are out? I said that it might have something to do with Lucas, but I think Coleman is going to be back this week. And he didn't fully practice and he hasn't fully cleared the concussion protocol. But today he did practice at a limited capacity. He says, I feel good. Says his concussion symptoms weren't too bad, mostly a headache, and he's excited to get back soon. This is from Sam Fortier. So that is really good news, especially with a guy like Lucas, who's likely going to be out for this game with that ankle injury. High ankle sprain, maybe, or mid to low ankle sprain. Not completely sure what the injury is there, but did come out of the game against the Bears. Trent Scott was in. And yeah, so Brandon Coleman playing this week would be huge for them. Let's see. I guess this is a side note, but Jaden Daniels announced today that during his press conference that Johnny Newton was awarded a sack on that first series. It wasn't initially awarded a sack, which was weird. I don't know how it wasn't, but yeah, it wasn't. So that's good to see for sure. And here's the Commanders injury report and the Giants. I'll get into the Giants in a second, but let's go over the Commanders. Ertz always gets the Wednesday off. Lucas didn't practice, ankle injury. I would be surprised if he played this week. I really would be. Frankie Louvu shin, not sure what that is. Hopefully it's nothing too major because I believe he's the best player on this defense. Tyler Biadasz, limited. He'll be good to go. Brandon Coleman, limited. I think he'll be good to go. Jaden Daniels, limited. That's a good sign. Last Wednesday, he did not practice. Last Thursday, he didn't practice. So to see him already limited on Wednesday, that's good. And he's still going to be dealing with the injury for a little bit of time. But, it's going to start to get better and better. Clone Farrell, limited. Brian Robinson, Olamide Zaccheaus were limited as well. And Terry, I guess, popped up with an ankle injury. He was full. So I would say only guys that I'm maybe concerned with missing a game would be Lucas for sure. My prediction is he misses this game. Frankie Louvu will really see on Thursday and Friday. Like if he's a DMP on Thursday, then I would say he probably doesn't play on Sunday. But if he's a limited, then I think he'll play for sure. And Lucas, expect him to be a DMP. And then all these other guys, maybe a couple of them will be questionable, but B-Rob's going to play. Zaccheaus, I expect him to play, and all these other guys. Brandon Coleman, obviously, he has to clear concussion protocol, but I expect him to do that for sure. Maybe not for sure, but I expect him to do that. He missed 1 week. And usually it's a 1 week, maybe a little bit longer than a week, like 10 days. So I think he should be able to clear concussion protocol by, Friday, Saturday, and get a full practice in. So real quick, a word from today's sponsor, BetUS. A huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. You can check them out at betus.com and use my code YouTube150 for 150% first deposit match up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. And there's a lot of different sporting events going on right now. So you got college football tonight, you got NBA tonight, you got NHL tonight, you got the World Series tonight, and you got Thursday night football tomorrow. Houston Texans versus New York Jets. That's a big game for the New York Jets if they want any hope of continuing this season and trying to make the playoffs, which is going to be very hard for them. But if they want to, they're going to have to win this week. And of course, World Series, possibly the last game. So get in on that action. Make sure you guys check out BetUS, fastest payouts in the industry. And as usual, bet responsibly. All right, so back to the injury report. And Jaden Daniels, he talked to the media today, and he said pain tolerance is always a thing. He said he's intact, which is good. And let's see, that's basically it right there. Where was okay, I guess this was the tweet, but it went all the way down to the end of the recording. Here is the injury report for the Giants. They've got a lot of players that did not practice or were limited. So Ty Summers, limited. John Michael Schmitz, I believe he's their starting center. I know he starts for them. Or at least in the early season he did. He's limited. Jake Kubas, limited. Adoree Jackson, their cornerback, and can return a little bit too. Limited. Trey Hawkins, limited. Cordell Flott, cornerback, I believe out of LSU, limited. And then Jermaine Illuminor, I believe he's one of their starting offensive linemen. He's limited. Tyrone Tracy, who has been really, really good. I mean, maybe not really, really good, but he's been good recently and has taken over that RB1 role for the New York Giants over Devin Singletary. He had a concussion against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I would doubt he plays this week against the Commanders because that was a Monday night game. And, some guys can clear concussion protocol in a week, but that's less than a week. I think it's very, very hard for guys to do that. So I would say he's going to be out. You got Amir Smith Marset, receiver. I honestly don't know who he is. He was out today. And then you got Jamie Gillen, their punter. That's something to monitor. He didn't practice. Josh Zudu, another starting offensive lineman, I believe. He's out. And then Matt Adams, linebacker, did not practice. So a lot of injuries. The key ones to watch out for, Josh Azudu. I would say, Dexter didn't practice, but that's rest. I would say Jermaine Illuminor. Brian Burns, I don't know how I missed that. Limited with an Achilles and biceps injury. He'll probably play. And then Tyrone Tracy, he's definitely a key guy, but I find it hard to believe he's going to play. And then John Michael Schmitz, also limited. Giants fans would know better than me. But, they got, I think like 10 plus guys on this list. They'll probably have at least 3-4 of these guys miss the game. I mean, alone, usually DNPs, it's very hard if they start out at DNP to play later in the week, unless it's rest like Lawrence, or maybe it's like a vet day off kind of thing, even though, like I know Ertz and Dexter Lawrence are listed as rest, but sometimes they'll put an injury designation. Like maybe Frankie Lou is a DNP, but it's more like, okay, his shin's hurting a little bit, but they're just giving him some rest. So just something to monitor there. I think the Giants are dealing with more injuries than the Commanders for sure, and Jaden's just getting healthier, which is good. And yeah, excited for this Giants game. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The Commanders should win this game. Doesn't mean they will. You never know. With NFC East divisional games, it's at MetLife, so hopefully, the Commanders players are all good. No one gets hurt, knock on wood, and everyone's healthy. That's the most important thing, and then getting a dub. That's also important as well. This is a Giants team. Their defense is solid. They got some good pass rushers, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. You got, I think Thibodeau might be out. I know Andrew Thomas, he's out. There's star left tackle, and then Brian Burns also is pretty good. So they've got a bunch of solid pass rushers, and they got some good cornerbacks. Phillips, the rookie, he's good. Banks got benched, but he's expected to start again. So they got some good players on that defense. Bobby Okereke is a stud. I wanted the Commanders to get him a couple years ago. Of course, Ron Rivera decided not to. It is what it is, but they've got some solid defensive players, and offensively, you really just got to worry about Malik Neighbors. And then I would say Darius Slayton, we have seen him get us in the past. Just deep ball, watch out for that. And yeah, don't get beat deep by Darius Slayton. But yeah, that's really it for today's video. Just going over some things and, overall good news on Brandon Coleman. I think he'll play this week. And that's really it for today's video. Make sure you guys check out BetUS and do all that good stuff. Hit that like button. I'm telling you, it really does help out the channel, and it's free. It takes a few seconds. Peace.